Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about a huge buzzword in management, radical transparency. You hear it everywhere, right? Share everything, be an open book, build trust. But what if that advice, as good as it sounds, is actually wrong? This really is the question we have to start with. When you, as a leader, decide to share something, are you actually making things clearer for your team? Or are you, maybe without realizing it, just offloading your own stress and uncertainty onto them? It's a really, really important difference.
So what even is radical transparency? Well, it's this idea that you share it all. Every little concern, every potential change in direction, even the half-formed ideas bouncing around in your head. And look, on paper, it sounds great. It feels inclusive, it feels authentic, it feels honest.
But here's the other side of that coin. What we often call transparency can be something else entirely. It can actually be, and I love this phrase, anxiety dumping. It's basically taking your own cognitive load, your own stress, and just handing it over to your team.
And let's be super clear here. The intention behind this stuff is almost always good. Leaders aren't trying to cause chaos. They genuinely want to build trust and keep people in the loop. The problem isn't the why, it's the what happens next. The result is often the exact opposite of what you wanted.
So, let's break down how this well-meaning idea can totally backfire. You intend to give people clarity by sharing every thought, but what your team actually gets is just noise. It's a constant stream of unfiltered information that they now have to try and make sense of. It creates confusion, not focus.
And it's the same deal with alignment. You might think, hey, if I share all my unresolved thoughts, we'll all get on the same page faster. But the reality? People hesitate. When your team hears every internal debate, they get gun-shy. They're not sure which way is up, so they pause, right at the moment you need them to be moving.
And then there's the big one, trust. The whole point is to build trust through openness, right? But when you broadcast every single moment of uncertainty, what you can actually create is a sense of instability. For your team, it feels like the ground is constantly shifting beneath their feet, and that doesn't build confidence, it wears it down. This is the central paradox of the whole thing. We've been taught to believe that more information will lead to more confidence, but it doesn't. Too much raw, unfiltered data doesn't empower people. It leads to analysis paralysis because they're totally overwhelmed trying to figure out what matters and what doesn't. Okay, so if just broadcasting everything is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's about shifting how you see your role as a leader. You need to stop being a megaphone, just amplifying every single signal. Instead, you need to become a filter, thoughtfully curating and sharing only what is actually useful and actionable for your team.
I think this just says it perfectly. This has nothing to do with hiding information or being secretive. It's about sense-making. A leader's job is to take in all the complexity and noise and then distill it down into something clear that the organization can actually use to move forward.
So what does it actually mean to be a filter? Well, for starters, it means you can tell the difference between a random idea you're kicking around and a decision that people should act on. It means you hold on to the ambiguity so your team doesn't get derailed by it. And crucially, it means you share a clear direction without sharing all your unresolved fears about it.
At the end of the day, your team doesn't need a running commentary of your every thought. That's just not helpful. What they really need from you is coherence, a clear, consistent story about where the team is going and why. That's what allows them to do their jobs well. You know, this brings up another really critical point where radical transparency gets things mixed up. And that's the difference between honesty and exposure. Honesty is about integrity. It's about your words and actions lining up. Exposure is just raw, immediate, emotional offloading. They are not the same thing at all. And this is such a freeing idea, right? It means you can be a deeply honest, totally authentic, and trustworthy leader without having to narrate every single internal conflict you have. You can be honest without giving a minute-by-minute rundown of every concern. You can be authentic without being completely raw. So here's the real insight on trust. It isn't built by showing everyone you have nothing to hide. It's built when your team sees that you can handle the pressure, that you can absorb uncertainty for them and provide that steady hand, instead of just passing the anxiety down the chain. So how do you actually do this? Here are 3 incredibly simple but powerful questions to ask yourself before you hit send or open your mouth. Number 1, will this information help my people do their jobs better, like right now? 2, is this a final, settled direction, or am I just spitballing here? And 3, the big one again, am I sharing clarity or am I just sharing my anxiety?
This really gets to the heart of what mature leadership looks like. It's not about the sheer volume of information you share. It's about the quality. It's about how good you are at taking all the complexity and distilling it into clear, powerful meaning for your team. Because really, that's what people are looking for. The world is noisy and complicated. They're looking to their leaders to cut through all of that static and give them focus. They need someone to be that steady hand and say, okay, everyone, forget all that other stuff. This is what matters right now.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. It's easy to hear this and go, oh, so this is just a fancy excuse for old-school, top-down secrecy. But that's not what this is.
This is stewardship. It's about responsibly managing the most valuable resources your team has, their attention and their emotional energy. It's about protecting their focus so that they can do their absolute best work.
So, I'll leave you with this one last question to think about for yourself. When you look at your own leadership style, which one are you? Are you broadcasting every thought that pops into your head? Or are you carefully curating what's truly useful? Are you a megaphone or are you a filter?